scouting report, and I don't see nothing but bums. You and your whole entire world know that I am the one. You and your squad ain't got nothing for me. Your organization is looking stressed, and now that you haters is running from me, I know that you see that I'm highly blessed.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we live with your boy Coach G. Yeah, we live with your boy Monty.
You and your squad ain't got nothing for me. Your organization is looking stressed, and now that you haters is running from me, I know that you see that I'm highly blessed.
Episode 35. Well, I'll be damned. We're here, The Rewind, brought to you by Global Sports Entertainment 3. Back at it again, but doing things a little different on tonight's episode. We are testing the waters, as they say, with exploring our YouTube Live. We've been putting in the work for our YouTube channel over the last 9 months, 10 months or so. And collectively, we all thought it was a good idea to kind of test this thing out, see what happens. So throughout tonight's episode, you'll be able to comment. We may, depending on how things look tonight, we may be able to bring some questions up at the end of the show. And we have a good lineup for you guys as always. Of course, I'm the captain of the ship, Monty Moss. And if you haven't, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Rewind_GSC3, as well as follow us on all of our social media platforms at the Rewind_GSC3. Got a good lineup for you guys. It is WNBA Finals Game 3 tonight. Of course, that's why I'm wearing my lovely Aces hat. Let's go Aces. Let's go Jackie Young, Asia Wilson, Becky Hammond, and the crew. And got to rep my guys after Sunday night's great win. My New England Patriots, Drake May, Daddy May, Stephon Diggs, did the damn thing, went to Buffalo. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in tonight's episode. But without further ado, let's get my co-host in here. He doesn't need no introduction, but he needs one for YouTube Live, just for the people in the back. 4-time state champion, over 400 wins in his co-head coaching career. He's coached both football and basketball. He is also inducted into the Nork Hall of Fame, Chicago finest, Temple alum, and Chicago Cubs are in the MLB playoffs right now. Bryant Garvin's in the house. BG, what it do, player?
Hey, man, look, I hope we'd only down 2-1, to Brewers. We was down 2-0, so the Cubs, hopefully they can pull that through today. I'm good to be there and excited about being live so I can really do my thing in front of the world. Let's get it going, my baby. Let's go.
Look, Brian, I know we got something that we're going to introduce later to everybody that's going to be watching tonight. So excited to see we are implementing a new segment that we decide is going to be great for the people. So we'll let you know when that comes. And I'm pretty excited for this new segment because I think it is worthy to highlight that particular individual for the week. I think everyone deserves a little bit of recognition, a little bit of shine. So before Coach Gar's hot take, we will debut our new segment that will be here every week on the Rewind. So stay tuned for that. But, man, we got some two good guests. We got another former player, another Eastside great coming on. We got a rising star in the wrestling world. She's also on the football team, both JV and varsity. We need more women on the football field, so I respect that. I just was with her mom and father this past Sunday at High End Cigars, where we will be doing another live episode, our second live episode for the Rewind later on at the end of this month. Guest to be determined, but let's just focus on what we got going here. And let's get our first guest in here. If you guys didn't know, as I said, he is an alumni. So Coach Gar has been with this guy, blood, sweat, and tears, a state championship with a ring on it. Love to hear that. But this brother here is born and raised from Newark, New Jersey, 973. Went to St. Pat's, 2012 GMC Offensive Player of the Year. He was also 2012 Defensive Player of the Year. 2013 state champion with Newark Eastside, of course. Love that. 3-time Newark Christmas tournament champ. Of course, Eastside's been winning state Christmas tournaments forever. I think that's just what we've done over the last 20 years. Played two years at New Mexico State Military JUCO. Played at SUU. Coached at Kearns High School. Assistant coach at New Mexico Military. Director of Operations / recruiter at Lincoln University. Also, player development assistant for Mark Madsen, former Los Angeles Laker champion at UVU, current Herman assistant. He's a pro college and youth trainer, also lead trainer at TZ1, which we'll talk about later on tonight's episode. And he sent or assisted on 97 kids and counting to college. Shout out to Will for that. 16 pro overseas players and one current NBA player who's also playing that was under the Coach Will tree. We want to bring in, he's my big brother, my mentor. He took care of me when I was at Eastside, when I was a young a young freshman. I probably was about 4'9" at the time. I mean, I'm not no taller as much then, but we want to introduce our guy, Coach Will Joyce. Will, 35, episode 35. Good to have you here. Took you long enough, but like I said before, better late than never. Good to see you. How are you, brother?
Man, I'm doing well, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me on the show, for sure.
Full circle moment with Coach Gar, man. Look at this guy, man.
Hey,
Can't
man,
get rid
Coach
of
Gar.
him.
Nobody knows. I mean, I think it's safe for me to say this. I stayed at your house that summer, man. Fun summer. Just working on my game. I remember that.
It's what I do, man. If he's one of the proteges that I've had, and I'm proud of all these young men, but it's certain special ones that come to my house, and I've had quite a few at my house and stayed over, and they eat my food, and if they eat all of it.
And all the cranberry juice too.
All the cranberry juice and all the food downstairs and upstairs. And they have a good time there. It's just a way to get away from the city life and get a little break there and get their self-focus and get ready to go for the season. So it's a lot of things. And it's not only during the season, it was all year long. So great times, man. I had to get, and I'm so proud of them with the things that he's gone down, and just, it sometimes brings a tear to my eye to see these guys, you know what I mean? And I could just sit back and just smile and see them take over from where I left off after retirement. And it's a beautiful thing.
Hey, what's that funny stat you used to say all the time at your house? You said, I don't remember the stat line you say for every person that has came through your house has turned out to be pretty okay in this thing we call life. Can you give that? Can you give a little bit of a background for that for the people?
Yeah, so it was basically, every young man that have ever come to my house at the 99 percentile, they have been successful. If anybody can get through me and the stuff that I put them through, they will become successful in life. And I'm batting a 99%. I may have lost one or two, but that second person didn't come to my house, didn't get a chance to get there, had other troubles. But however, most of the young men that have arrived to my house, they are definitely, without a doubt, 100% successful. And my hat goes off to them. I'm not showing my bald ass head live on TV. I'm covering it up. Everybody talk about. I know Will call me thumb head and all that other stuff. So I'm covering up my thumb today with my hat. But I'm proud of these guys, man. I'm a 55-year-old guy, and just to see these guys take over and coaching young men, and sitting here looking at him saying that he puts 97 kids through college. I would have never thought that would happen, but it's like I basically just handed everything off to him, and he's done some great things.
Absolutely. We're proud of what Coach Will has done. I feel like calling him coach makes me sound old because I've always looked at Will. And Will was very unique in my time at Eastside. I was probably like his mentee, little brother. He took me everywhere throughout the school, especially during of that state title run in 2013. And it's just the team that we've had those 3 years and the impact that we've made. And then fast forward, Bryant, I just was in the gym with Steph last week at LA Fitness, getting to connect with him. That was pretty dope. I feel like Eastside is like a Villanova. We're all over. We're spread it throughout all over. The love is always real. We see each other, so always a pleasure. But I gotta introduce someone else that our second guest. She's really talented. If you didn't know, she's doing a damn thing. I'm sure with a little bit of Bryant's expertise, she will be able to get over to the hump to get to the next level because she's impressive. I'm sure with her resume, what I'm about to say, as an 11th grader, you'd be like, God damn, is that true? Yeah, it is true. The only downside thing about this person, and I love her and her mother and her father most. I love them. Shout out to my high-end cigar family, is that she is a Dallas Cowboys fan, and I can't figure that out. The mom doesn't like football or have a team. She likes the sport, don't like the team, but then the father likes the Cowboys. And then I'm just trying to figure out, I'm sitting to myself early, I'm saying, what would make her want to like the sorry-ass Dallas Cowboys? And I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't. But it is what it is. This person here, my little sister, I guess you could say officially on the Rewind, Amaree Bryant, not Amaree, currently is in 11th grade. Amaree does wrestling right now for high school, where she was second in the county last year. She also was first. She also does JV and varsity football this year. Amaree does play with the boys. She is not on the girls' team in any capacity. Amaree is also a diehard WNBA fan, which I'm excited to talk about later tonight as we preview Game 3 of the WNBA Finals. She also has some favorite teams, as I talk about the Dallas Cowboys. But, Bryant, you'll like this one even more. She also is a Dallas Wings fan, and she loves Paige Buckets. So, Amaree Walker, episode 35, The Rewind. What it do, baby? Good to see you, little sister.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Are you, don't be. Nothing to be scared of. Bryant,
No, I'm
Bryant,
good.
You're a punching bag tonight. If you feel like you're in trouble, punch on Bryant. He's a punching bag. You good.
Enough of that.
Oh, man, so we got a lot to get into tonight. Let's get into it with last week NFL 4 recap, as well as we'll preview NFL Week 5. That's Thursday Night Football from last week. 49ers 26-23 over the Los Angeles Rams. I don't know what I was thinking, but I had a good reason why I was rolling with the Rams. Bryant, of course, was his pick was the San Francisco 49ers. They came into L.A., and boy, did Mac Jones play a damn near perfect game. 33 of 49, 342 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey was effective. I did say on my Thursday Night Football locks, say Christian McCaffrey over 50 yards rushing. He finished with 57, so you're welcome, America. Former Patriot Kyren Lacy finished with 142 yards receiving. He's showing up. Matthew Stafford did what he had to do, 30 of 47, 389 yards, 3 touchdowns. Bryant, pretty much we talk about this game regardless of it being 23-23 going to overtime. The play of the game was a 4th down where Sean McVay and the Rams offense marched down the field. Matthew Stafford made some pretty big plays, pretty big throws during that drive, but then to get down there in the red zone, could have took the points and tied it up at 26. But you give San Francisco the ball back, and at that point in time, San Francisco was pretty hot. They did what they needed to do, but I'm not mad at the play call, Brian. I would have went for it on 4th and 1. I wouldn't have ran a halfback dive because if you look at the replay, the 49ers stacked the line and running the play right up the middle with no sense of urgency. 49ers read that from a mile away after the timeout was already called. So San Francisco called the timeout. You have another opportunity, Brian, during that timeout to say, all right, are we sure we want to go through this? When you go through another play, that's where your best plays come up on short down distance. That's what you practice for. Me personally, I would have ran a play action. I trust Matthew Stafford throwing the football, or I just would have ran a stretch to the outside, pulled 2 guards to the right to the left, or vice versa. But Brian, what's your takeaway from the 49ers going into LA and sneaking out a division win, 26-23?
I told you they was going to win. I was kind of skeptical with the absence of a quarterback, a starting quarterback, but that team will always find a way to win, and they did. It was a little bit of luck involved. Yeah, they fumbled on the one. They should have lost, but they didn't. This football is a game of inches, man. Anything can happen at any given day, but they just happen to be the better team. They outplayed those guys pretty much almost the whole game, even though it was kind of even. It should have never been that way, but it's the NFL, man. Anything can happen. So that's what it is. There's nothing bad I can say about either team. They played very well and played hard.
Yeah, both teams did play hard, Brian. You got to tip your hat off to the Rams. You got to tip your hat to the 49ers because, going into this game, we talked about it last week about what are we going to see from Mac Jones. We've seen him earlier in the year, but not having Brock Purdy after starting him last week, was out this week with the toe injury. He's questionable going into this week's game for the Niners. But, shout out to Kyle Shanahan, man. He just finds a way to just grind it out, get just hard nose, then improve to 4-1. That's a good division win on the road. Anytime you play the Rams, it's always going to be a tough game, rather they're home or away. Rams fall 3-2. But I like what I saw offensively from the Rams. I mean, Matthew Stafford is in sync. Devontae Adams looks good as new. We haven't seen Devontae Adams play this well in recent games, probably since his Green Bay days, or arguably you could say his Raider days when Derek Carr was a quarterback. But a lot of good things, a little positive to take away. Me personally, I just didn't agree with the call running the ball on 4th and 1. It just was something that, you get a timeout opportunity, Brian. You get an opportunity to go back to the sideline, having the brains of what Sean McVay is as a play caller for the Rams. You got to be able to have that pivot, that plan B and that plan C as a play caller and say, hey, look, we're going to run this, but now that we got a timeout, pretty much we get an opportunity to kind of go to something different. Did you agree with the run call there on 4th and 1, or are you personally you to went to something else?
I would have went to the outside. We spoke about that. You're basically in a 4th and 1. Everyone is packing the line of scrimmage. I mean, I forgot that we used to call it a 255G. Is what we used to do. So we line up 6 men on line. We have 2 inside linebackers and basically the corners on the outside and one strong safety behind there. I'm a big believer of stretching the corners at 4th and 1 on the goal line and just basically attacking the edges. I don't like going up in the middle unless it's a tush push like the Eagles do. You got those type of linemen, but when you have those small, skinny type, slender linemen, I like to stretch in the field and give a two-way option with the quarterback either running or throwing, one way or the other. It's a bunch of things that I can design up to be able to score in that particular time and kind of get you off balance. I also like to spread the defense out. I've done that as well, spread it out and run a draw with the quarterback as well. So there's so many different things you can do when you put everybody up in one little tight formation and you only give yourself a one-way option and you know that he's either coming or going unless you run a boot to the outside, which I will also do, and stretch the corners. Sometimes it puts you one-on-one with the corner if you don't pull a guard. You can do that as well. So, just that one dive play and give you a one-way option, I probably would never do that unless I got a strong offensive line.
Yeah, it's something that we shall see. Both teams like I said, played well. It was a good game for a Thursday night. I tell you that. I know this Thursday we don't get that much of a blessing between two teams, but we'll see what happens going into next week. Shout out to the 49ers improving 4-1. Kyle Shanahan and his 49ers team. If you're the 49ers a fan or even the 49ers in general, you got to be blessed with the injuries that you've had on the offensive side and defensive side. I mean, having the backup quarterback come in 2 games this year, win. Not having your star tight end with Kittle being out, not having your receivers. I mean, 49ers have just been banged up, but they're just grinding it through. 4-1. That's a blessing in itself in the National Football League with everything that we've seen this year so far. But the power of the pivot, we shall see what the 49ers do as well as the Rams. We're going to the Colts and the Raiders, 40-6. Raiders fall to 1-4, Bryant. I'll be damned. I didn't think with Pete Carroll coming into town and drafting Gentry from Boise State and bringing over Geno Smith and having Jacoby Myers, I didn't expect the Raiders to be 1-4 right now in the season. And damn sure didn't expect the Colts to be 4-1. I mean, Daniel Jones, he looks like he's resurrected from his time with the Giants. So it raises the question, was it the Giants? Was it the system? Was it the play call with Brian Dable? Or was it him? And it looks like it was them and the Giants because Daniel Jones has been impressive this year, 40-6. Jonathan Taylor, I mean, fantasy football lovers, if you guys had Jonathan Taylor, I missed him for my fantasy league this year, but damn it, he got in the end zone 3 times, Bryant. Colts they're looking real good. Is it safe to say, do you want to say that the Colts right now are a true contender in the AFC?
They're dangerous. And Daniel Jones is playing out of his freaking mind, man. It's to a point where after I saw it week 1, I picked him up on fantasy. I just had to. I said, this team here they're balling, and it's all systematically. Daniel Jones couldn't fit with the Giants' offense. You show flashes of it that he can be great, but then overall he didn't have the personnel to be able for him to shine. The Colts have a lot of personnel, man. They got some talent on that team, and that's a scary team right now. They're quiet. You don't hear too much about them, but they're raising some noise. They're raising some hell, and I'm telling you to look out for them in the playoffs because I think, if they continue on this progression that they got going on now, they're going to shock some people. Will they get to the finals? I don't think so, but hey, they're going to be knocking on that door. The Giants, I think they're going to be better. You may not like the quarterback that they have there now. I like him.
I've done against Jackson.
I like Jackson. I like him in preseason. I thought that he's their guy. I think he's the guy that you roll with for the next 8 to 10 years. He remind me of Phil Simms back in the day. So I'm like, now he does. I'm telling you, if you look at him, you got to put the right system around him in order for him to be successful. And I think that system may fit him. I don't know. I don't like the coach. I really don't. I think he's a cuckoo bird from out in left fucking field. I really do. I think he's just really is not a player's coach. I think he's fucking bananas. I think he's all over the place. I don't think he has that personality to be able to lead a team. He may be a good personal coach, but I don't think he's a horrible head coach the way he is on the sideline. And he just can't get this team together for whatever reason. There's so much crap that happens on the sideline that this team can be resurrected if they just get some things together. So, and I'm not a Giants fan. I hate the Giants. I hate everything Giants. I hate everything in New York. You know, from Chicago. Of course, I'm supposed to. But at the end of the day, I like Jackson. I like the way they're starting to move. Now you got to build around them.
Yeah, just a quick breakdown. Daniel Jones, another good week passing the football, protecting the football, 20 and 29, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, 17 carries, 66 yards, 3 touchdowns, rushing. But, you know, Michael Pittman Jr., who I have in my fantasy league, appreciate that. He got in the end zone for a receiving touchdown. Tyler Warren. I think one thing that the Colts don't get enough credit for, and right now I think it's safe to say they have one of the best offensive lines in football. Daniel Jones didn't get touched at all this game. I mean, he got sacked 0 times. Raiders defense, they've just been in shambles all season. Pete Carroll, I thought by bringing his DNA and his composure for what he's did in Seattle, bring a little bit of that over. But I told America what will be the problem. What will be the problem when hiring a guy like Chip Kelly as your offensive coordinator, him coming from Ohio State? He doesn't belong in the NFL. I'm just going to tell you how I see it. Chip Kelly is a terrible offensive play caller. I like Geno Smith. I think he was the right fit. I personally would have preferred Shador to be the starting quarterback for the Raiders, but obviously they passed up on him. And look, the Raiders right now offensively, they can't score to save Bryant and him getting hair back. That's how terrible that offense is. And Pete Carroll and the Raiders, they got some soul search to figure out, because when you're 1-4 and you're in Vegas, a state that makes money, and the Raiders right now aren't producing wins, and wins produces money, it's a lot of soul searching. You ain't got many friends in Vegas, baby. And I know Mark Davis, the owner of the Raiders, he's patient. This is a project. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. Having Tom Brady as a minority owner for the Raiders, that helps in terms of professional insight and bringing that NFL experience over. But, Brian, I'll be honest, the Raiders right now 1-4. I didn't see that at all. And offensively, they just look horrible.
I saw it. You know, that's just from coaching.
2-2, I thought I see. 2-2.
I didn't see them winning a game, personally. I just really didn't, because when you got Kelly in there trying to sit there and make adjustments to Gentry's stance, and the young man has been in that stance in college. Now, in college, they are really typical about what doing things technically correct. But here in the NFL, if it works, don't try to fix it. Well, Kelly tried to fix it, and the young man didn't even rush for over 20 or 30 yards the first 2 weeks. He went back to his old stance, and then now he rushed over 100-something yards against the Bears. And then he did it. It's the same thing in the next following week. I mean, like, yo, leave the fucking kid alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he's going to produce, let him produce. I don't care about the stance. You got to win games. And the worst thing that they did was hire Kelly as a coordinator.
That was a bad hire. Let's just call it that's a bad hire. Look, it's like Colorado having Pat Schumer as their offensive coordinator. It's terrible. Horrible.
Yeah, that's what it is. So I expected what they're going through right now.
Hey, shout out to the Indianapolis Colts, man. One of the hottest teams in the NFL at 4-1. They're just doing a damn thing, and be careful, because long as they got a healthy Jonathan Taylor and that offensive line, I mean, that's going to continue to feed families across the world. So we'll stay tuned for the Colts this upcoming Sunday. And we fast forward to 2 teams that I hate one team more than the other. That's the New York Jets. But we got a Dallas Cowboy fan on here, Amaree. Amaree, I just need some answers. I need a little bit of clarity, because, like I said early on, talking to you pre-production, you know, your mom doesn't have a team. She doesn't like anyone in the NFL. I mean, I give her credit because she was rooting for my Patriots on Sunday with Loretta, my other fellow Patriot. We was watching the game together at High End. Shout out to my High End cigar family. We were there watching it. Your mom was rooting for the Patriots. I respect that. But then your father, on the other hand, he's a Dallas Cowboy fan. He's a Dallas Cowboy through thick and thin. I mean, he's been riding with them and being miserable also for the last 30 years. But you were young. You know, you had the opportunity to kind of drift away and start your own foundation in terms of what team you would like or what player you would like. But for Bryant and myself, because me and Bryant, we personally, we scratch our heads at Cowboys fans. Can you tell us why, in God's green earth, why do you like the Dallas Cowboys? And what made you become a Dallas Cowboy fan? Please tell us.
Well, I mean, obviously my father, I mean, growing up, all those Cowboys game on, just watching them. Like, I was never really into football until I was like got into high school. So like every time I watch a game, I'm just like, that's incredible. Hey, look, look, a lot of people hate him. He's my guy. We lost a lot of key pieces, like with Micah, but you got to keep going. You got to roll with the punches. And I think we're going to have a decent season. I don't think it's going to be great. I think it might be a little bit better than last year, but we always got to do our best. But Dak is my guy.
So
the Bears damn sure did some punching.
Yeah, they sure did.
Punched them right in the damn mouth.
That was hard to watch.
Hey, let me ask you this, Amaree, because if you didn't know, your owner Jerry Jones, he was fined by the league earlier this week. Hey, Brian, can you believe this? Jerry Jones was sitting outside his window at his press box, right, his suite box. He's flipping middle fingers up to fans, Jets fans, after the game. The league fined him. They fined him this week. I mean, like, anything for Jerry to get in the camera, anything for Jerry to be in the public eye. I mean, Amaree, do you have faith in Jerry Jones? Because, I mean, I can give you a list of things that the turmoil that he's caused over the last 30 years for that organization. Let's just call it for what it is. You had a dynasty. Jerry screwed that up. Jimmy leaves. You bring in Coach Switz. That it worked. You got a Super Bowl, but then you had all the crazy stuff off the field. He leaves, and then fast forward. Let's just fast forward all the bum coaches that you had afterwards. Bring in a guy like Bill Parcells. Tony Romo was a second depth quarterback. Tony Romo gets a start. 2006. Tony Romo fumbles the field goal kick against the Seattle Seahawks, tries to run in, didn't get it. Fast forward 2007, he's named starting quarterback. Bring in Terrell Owens. You have Jason Witten. You have Marion Barber. You have Miles Austin. You have Clayton. You have some success there. Get to the playoffs against the Giants 2007. Tony Romo throws an interception in the back of the end zone. Typical Tony Romo. Have a little bit of success with Tony Romo regular season-wise. Playoff-wise, you haven't been back to the NFC Championship since 95. I mean, do you have faith in Jerry Jones that he will get you back to the promised land? I mean, you've had some success with Dak, going into Green Bay in 2014, Dez Bryant, the catch that they said it was not a catch, and it was a catch. But that's years after. My opinion, it was a catch. They just didn't want the Packers to lose in Green Bay. So tell us, do you really have faith that Jerry Jones, the owner, the general manager, the guy that called all the shots for the organization, do you have faith and confidence that he can get you back to the promised land? And please be honest. Please be honest.
Absolutely not. Like, not even the, and I'm young, and I don't know back to, anything past 2015, but recently seeing, like, even the Micah trade, like, I shake my head every day. Like, every time I see him with a Packers jersey on, I'm just like, come on, like, like it hurts, and it really hurts because I don't know how you can not pay him what he's worth, and even if like what I would have taken any deal if I was Micah, like he wanted to stay in Dallas, he wanted to be in Dallas, but obviously he felt kind of disrespected, I guess, with offer they gave him, and it definitely hurts to see him in a Packers jersey, and I'm not a huge Packers fan either, so it hurts like extra.
Well, let's talk about your quarterback because we're getting ready to break down Cowboys Jets. Let's talk about your quarterback, right? Let's just be honest, Brian. I know you can agree. He's a damn good regular season quarterback. Can put up MVP numbers, can be in that conversation through the regular season. But when it's time for the playoffs and it's time to put your money where your mouth is, by the way, he is the highest paid quarterback right now in the NFL. He doesn't show up, right? Let's just be honest. Let's call it for how we see it. But right now, Dak Prescott is second in the league in passing, over 1,300 yards throwing, tied third in the NFL in touchdowns with 10. He's third in the league in QBR. Those are all impressive numbers. He's having an MVP season. Let's just call it for what it is. Only through 5 games. He's having an MVP caliber type of year. The record, on the other hand, shows different with them being 2-2-1. But you were able to go into New Jersey, get the win, because God knows, I don't know what was I thinking, Bryant, picking the Jets. I thought maybe it was going to be another massacre in New York and Jersey. Jets go on there, get the win. Justin Fields, Aaron Glenn get the first win. Let's go. But obviously it was the other way around. 37-22 was your score. Dallas Cowboys with the win. Dak Prescott was damn sure clean and effective, 18-29. 237 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Javonte Williams, welcome back. 16 carries, 135 yards rushing. That's the first 100-yard rushing game that the Cowboys had this year. He did get in the end zone for a touchdown. Ryan Flournoy, effective in the passing game, over 114 yards receiving. George Pickens, after having that damn good, impressive game last week against Green Bay, he finished with 57 yards receiving. He did get in the end zone for a touchdown. Jake Ferguson, my fantasy football guy. Appreciate you, Jake. 2 touchdowns receiving. But, Bryant, let's talk about the Jets and Amaree. I'll give you some piggyback afterwards. I mean, they fall to 0-5. Aaron Glenn and this team right now is not looking good. Will is sadly a Jets fan. I don't know why he picked the Jets as a team, but it's the worst franchise history.
You was looking for a Jet 2 holiday?
Hey, come on. Hey, Coach. Hey, can you guys hear me? You guys can hear me, right?
We can hear you, Will.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Look, listen. I was born a Jets fan. My first football game I ever went to, my grandfather took me because he's a Giants fan. The Jets this year every year I get my hopes really high, and then I turn on the TV and I'm like, I got to turn this TV off. I'm now slowly but surely becoming a Detroit Lions fan. For some reason, I'm switching over to the other side. That's just a talk. I'm sorry, Coach Gar.
That's a cheat code.
Hey, Coach. Listen, man, it's hard. It's hard to watch, and the fact that
you just got on the Jet 2 holiday.
Nah,
you
just
did it. You just did it. Look, give him time. I'm telling you.
I agree.
I've been there. If he's doing some things, you can't see what I see. He's doing some great things. I expect them not to win a game this year. That's just what it is. But yet, it's like he was taking over his team to start all over because that team needed to just get redone. It's so many coaches have been through there with so many systems. They just got to give him at least 3 to 4 years to get it done. I think he's going to turn around at the beginning of next year. I truly believe this because he's got a lot of energy to get this turned around.
Coach, I agree. I agree with you 100%, Coach. But it's something about that O-line. The last couple of years, the year we traded for Aaron Rodgers, our O-line sucked.
I agree.
We went for him. I actually like Zach Wilson. I like Zach. I thought he was a young, high-energy type of player, just like Jackson Dart. They actually both from Utah. I actually watched them play in high school.
Oh, cool.
At a school out here called Corner Canyon. But they're literally, I thought it would have been a great system. I think that the year before we grabbed Aaron Rodgers, we could have fixed our O-line instead of grabbing him. If we would have fixed that, we had a young Breece Hall. It was a lot of weapons. Young Garrett Wilson. Everybody was flowing really well, and then we went after the Aaron Rodgers tree. I don't know why.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers stepped in there, and nobody liked Aaron Rodgers. They just, it's just what it is. So the team fell apart. So he's got to step in there and pick up a lot of bad seeds that was in there. And he's got to weed some people out, and he's got to get his own players in there. Once he does that, now we can hold his feet to the fire if he's not producing. But at this point, he's going to get a pass this year. He's got to, because that's not his players. I hate the fact that they bring a coach in there and they expect miracles and then they fire him after a year. That's got to be the most idiotic thing I've ever seen in my life. You can't treat him like a Jet 2 holiday. You got to get a man a freaking chance to go in there and produce. I remember my first job that I got in coaching as a head coach. I was freaking 0-10, and the next year it was 5-4. It's just, you got to give them that time to reproduce the program and make it a program. You're talking about being not a Dallas, but a Detroit Lions fan. The Detroit Lions has been pure shit for decades. They haven't even won a Super Bowl ever. So now you had one good coach that produced other good coaches. that produce great players, and they believe in that system.
Yeah.
Once you get that, man, you're rolling. He's got a job for life. It's just what it is. He just got to go past the finish line, which he's just having a tough time doing. Eventually, I do believe they're going to get there, but it just remains to be seen. Give him some time.
So, Bryant, you know Aaron Glenn is tied second for 0-5 start as a Jet head coach. You know who the first one is? Adam Gase. The hype they put behind that man out of Denver, bringing him in. He's this great offensive-minded guy, offensive coordinator for the Broncos. But Peyton Manning brought him in. That turned out to be a disaster. However, I don't believe Aaron Glenn is a disaster for New York. I think the level of expectations from a fan perspective, they want to win now. I think it's a 3-year project. I think by year 3 is when the Jets really ascend and start to thrive with this hire. I mean, everyone gave Dan Campbell, they gave him a short lease in Detroit. He turned that thing around within a 3-4 year gap. And he was able to produce a Ben Johnson. He was able to produce a Aaron Glenn to put himself in a position to be a head coach. But it takes time. I mean, the Jet defense right now, that Jets defense is on one leg. And yeah, they got Sauce Gardner, paid him in the offseason, but they gave up 20 points in the second quarter. 20. That was the game right there. It was nothing that the Jets could do in the second half. Yeah, they scored 16 points in the fourth quarter. Justin Fields was able to get his rhythm going late, but that wasn't enough to get the win over Dallas. Dallas is a bend, don't break team. Defensively, Cowboys are horrible. Offensively, Dak has that ability to get them going regardless of no CeeDee Lamb. Second game in a row, no CeeDee Lamb. They were able to get it done. But Amaree, what were you impressed with the Cowboys' victory going into New York, 37-22? Dak played well. The running game was well. Offensively, you guys were able to move the ball effectively in that second quarter. What were some of your things you were impressed with?
I think our defense played decently well. Dak is Dak. I mean, he's been doing the same thing consistently for a couple of years. So, I mean, nothing really drastically surprising for me because I know my Cowboys are going to, at the end of the day, get it done. But, yeah.
Yeah, well, hey, look, Brian, it's always a good thing when your defense only gives up 3 points in the first half. I mean, if you're Coach Schwarzenegger, you're happy. I mean, they went into the halftime 23-3. I mean, this is just it's the Jets, so I'm not gonna sit here and act like this is a crazy win. Will, man, what are your Jets gonna do? Because you got the Patriots coming up, and that's an L coming too. I'm telling you that shit right now. That's an L coming too. The way Drake is playing right now, I'm gonna talk about them later on tonight's episode. I mean, you might just be 0-10 before you get a first win. Where do the Jets get a win at? Because I'm looking at the schedule. I look at the Jets schedule, right? I mean,
hey, man, I just think Coach Gar said it. It's going to take some time. But how much? Hey, when the last time the Jets been good? Chad Pennington, Curtis Martin area. That was the last time I seen the Jets win games.
Well, Mark Sanchez.
I don't. Say that again.
Stab Sanchez.
You got Rex Ryan, AFC Championship.
Stab Sanchez.
I mean, Brian, man, let's go down the line. Where do the Jets get a win? They got the Broncos Sunday morning.
No.
They got the Panthers at home the following week.
Yes.
That's their first win?
Yes.
Give me Bryce Young on the road. That's the L.
No.
Then they got the Bengals on the road. Joe Flacco.
I give them 2 wins.
And then they got the Patriots, another loss.
I don't like the Patriots. You already know that. So I'm gonna give them 3.
We don't. You know what? Hey, look, as Patriots fans, can I get a solo shot? Chris?
The dogs can play the Patriots. I go for the dogs.
This is how New England Patriots fans feel. If you don't like us, if you don't like what Mike Vrabel's doing, if you don't like what the front office is doing, Robert Kraft, if you don't like what Drake May's doing so far this year, our record isn't what it speaks for, but damn it, Sunday's win should wake America up. Just to give you a reminder, we don't care. We don't care. Patriots, we riding, baby. Cowboys improve to 2-1. Jets fall to 0-5. They will be this Sunday morning, 9:30 Eastern time. They'll be playing the Broncos overseas, so we'll look forward to that. Speaking of Broncos, 21-17 over the Philadelphia Eagles. Amaree, I know you're happy the Eagles lost because you are in the NFC East. Broncos were able to get it done in the second half, Bryant. That Philadelphia Eagles offense is just continuing to struggle in the second half, struggling in the second half against Tampa Bay, struggling this past Sunday against Denver. I mean, offensively, Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith were in sync. They had their connection going, but A.J. Brown, they got to figure this thing out because I look at the tape. I look at what A.J. Brown's done from a route tree standpoint. The guy runs the same 3 damn routes all the time. I mean, Jalen Hurts got to find ways to get his number one guy involved. But I'm not shocked Denver coming in taking the win. I mean, Bo Nix did the damn thing in the second half, predominantly in the fourth quarter against this Eagles squad. What's your takeaway from Denver's win over Philadelphia in Philly?
I'm a fan of Bo Nix, man. I always was a fan. I was hoping that the Bears would draft him in that first round, first pick. I kind of wish he was there. Kind of fits that system, but you know, it remains to be seen. I think that was a great win by Denver. Philly, they go through blurps. Like they went through this last year, to believe it or not, and it was like questionable whether they would get to the Super Bowl, and they did. So I don't think it's a time to panic. I think that this just their MO towards the middle of the season when people kind of figure them out. Here's the biggest thing with Philly is that they don't have the same personnel they had last year. They got a few different pieces in there, especially defensively and at the corner position. So, they're struggling, but yet they're still fighting, and they're right there in games. They just have to figure this newer team out and just finish. And I think they're capable of it. Just because they got a couple of new pieces don't mean they're not dogs. They are dogs. They can come out there and punch you right in the mouth. It's just, are they going to stay motivated to do a repeat? It just don't know. But, it's not how you start. Well, you know this. I always said this for years. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Yeah. So at the end of the day, yeah, they lost one. But let's see how they finish up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think when we talk about the Eagles offensively, I mean, the run game wasn't there. Saquon only finished with 30 yards receiving. Devontae Smith was the only one that finished over 50 yards receiving for this team. Finished with 114, 8 receptions. But as I said, A.J. Brown's got to be the guy that's got to be in sync with Jalen Hurts week in and week out. We know what this has been like far as in the offseason. We know what it's been like in terms of A.J. Brown coming up with some things in his post-game press conference a few weeks ago. But those two, they have to be aligned because if they're aligned, the offense is aligned, everything comes together. But, I mean, let's not take away from Denver. I mean, Philadelphia's defense gave up 18 points alone in the fourth quarter. That's a problem. And they didn't score anything in the fourth quarter. So defensively, the heart of Philly, they lost a few pieces. Darius Slay being one of them going to Pittsburgh. I mean, they have lost some pieces. That Jalen Carter hasn't been Jalen Carter that we've seen last year. I feel like Philly's going to be a team that's going to be a late burn bloomer. I mean, to start the season 4-0 was good. They needed this loss to kind of come things together. I feel like in the National Football League or in any sport, when you're on a high, everyone has high expectations for them to repeat as Super Bowl champions. We know what the pressure of Philly is like to win in terms of all these sport organizations in Philadelphia. But a loss like this kind of brings you back down to reality. Let's get back to the drawing board. Let's get back to what has helped us and what works for us on the offensive side. And Saquon Barkley's got to have more than 6 carries in a football game. I mean, for him to only have 6 carries and finish for 30 yards, that's something that's not a DNA to Philadelphia's success last year for them getting to the Super Bowl and winning. Philadelphia Eagles want to win. You've got to give Saquon Barkley the ball more. And offensively, this play call has just been atrocious. I mean, the loss of Kellen Moore, him going to New Orleans to be a first-year head coach, it's hurting Philadelphia right now because Kellen Moore knew everything identity-wise and how to get everybody going at the right time. And it's hard to replace a good coordinator like that. I mean, the Lions right now, they're showing that they're not hurting from this, from losing Ben Johnson to Chicago. We'll get into Detroit in a little bit, but Philly giving up 18 points offensively, they gotta tweak this thing up. And Philadelphia, them right now in the NFC East, they still are my favorite to win a division. I don't think Dallas, they have a shot. I'm just going to call it for what it is. Washington has a shot. Of course, the Giants are out of it. But they're on the road next Sunday, Brian, this Sunday coming up against the Vikings. And Vikings right now at 3-2, Carson Wentz. He's got this offense in sync. So we'll see what happens with Philadelphia. Can they improve to 5-1? But one of the things I commend with the Eagles and Jalen Hurts, the leadership of Jalen Hurts is, he's been able to quiet the noise down. And he's able to go to A.J. Brown, his star receiver, have that one-on-one conversation as men and say, look, what can we do to get better? we need each other to be in sync. We need each other to be effective. We need each other to be on the same page at all times. If this football team wants to be successful, I condone Jalen Hurts doing that. That's a true leader. That's a true locker room guy. And, safe to say, I'm not worried, Bryant, with the Eagles losing. I'm just worried about – I'm ashamed of how they lost on Sunday because defensively, you can't give up that many points in the game because Denver was down the entire game, Bryant. They were down the entire game. So we'll see what happens for the Philadelphia Eagles this upcoming Sunday against the Vikings. Quick pick, who you got?
We talked about with the Eagles. You talking about tomorrow, correct?
They play Sunday. Well, I'm sorry. They have the Thursday night game against tonight against the Giants, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that one.
I'm 2 weeks ahead. The Patriots win got me on the high, so I'm already 2 weeks ahead.
Yeah.
We'll pivot. We'll talk about the Houston Texans, 44-10 over the Baltimore Ravens. Bryant, I picked the Texans to win this game. You picked the Ravens. You thought that Baltimore was going to just figure it out, even a second week without having Lamar Jackson. But let's just get into some quick numbers. Houston Texans were able to score each quarter in this football game. C.J. Stroud, 23 of 27, 244 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, by far his best single game this year. Nick Chubb was effective on the ground with 61 yards rushing, a touchdown. Christian Kirk, 64 yards. Dalton Schultz, 60 yards. Nico Collins, anytime touchdown scorer, I said it. He was able to get it at 4 receptions, 52 yards. But we look at the Baltimore Ravens, Bryant, starting Cooper Rush again. He threw 3 interceptions this past Sunday. It was horrible. Derrick Henry, only 33 yards rushing. He did get in the end zone. It was the only touchdown that the Ravens had in this game. Zay Flowers was effective in the receiving game, 5 receptions for 72 yards. But right now, it's a state of emergency in Baltimore. Governor Moore, governor of the state of Baltimore, he needs to call a state of emergency on his Baltimore Ravens team because right now, defensively, every game this year, the Ravens have given up over 30 points a game. That's something that's never happened in John Harbaugh era in Baltimore. But with this loss, Bryant, where do the Ravens go from here? Is there life after this, or their season's over?
There's life for the Baltimore Ravens. And the way you start is you fire your defensive coordinator tomorrow. You got to get rid of the guy. And I'm a big believer of giving people options and chances, but Harbaugh has been there for a long, long time. And to give up 40-something points back-to-back games, that's inexcusable. That is just like you have pretty much, you pride yourself over your defense versus your offense. Your defense won you games a lot. Yeah. And now you're giving up 44 and you can't score, or you're scoring 43 and you're losing 44-43. That right now, legitimately, besides this loss here, they should be about 3-1 or 4-1, but they've lost like one or 2 points because they've been outscored. You just can't do it. It's just impossible. And I know they got some injuries in there. I know they have this. I know they have that. And a lot of stuff going on.
Next man up.
But at the end of the day, you gotta make an adjustment. You can't have the same offense with a different quarterback because he's not Jackson. You got to adjust your offense to that. So, defensively, you got to start all over. You got to do something different. Yeah. They're in trouble. 2 more losses, they're done. Yeah. 1-4, you go in there 1-6. Your wild card hopes are pretty much shot, unless you go on this win streak and other teams are losing. You're going to have some major troubles. They got 1 extra game in there, so they could wind up being 11-6, and they got to win straight on out. It's not impossible, but if they lose 3 to 4 more, go on fishing, baby.
Go on fishing. They need Lamar Jackson back, number one. But, Amaree, let me point this out to you. Week 1, the Ravens gave up 41 points offensively. Week 2, they got the win 41-17. Week 3, they gave up 38 to Detroit. Week 4, they gave up 37 to Pat Mahomes. And then, of course, this past Sunday, giving up 44 to the Texans. They do have another home game this upcoming Sunday. Lamar Jackson is questionable. We're not sure if he's going to play this Sunday. But let's just qualify how we see it. They need him to play this Sunday. They got the Rams coming into town who lost on Thursday night. They're pissed off. I mean, Sean McVay, rarely do you see the Rams lose back-to-back games. They're pissed off. Do you see the Ravens winning on Sunday against the Rams?
Well, I don't see them doing anything. They've and someone just mentioned right now that they've had the best rosters overall. Now I agree. They always are stacked, and they just can't. they just can't get out of their own damn way. You know what I mean? And they just can't finish for whatever reason. There's always something. Is there something bad that always? Do they beat the Rams? I don't think so. I think they need their guys back. They're not healthy. I think the Rams beat them by probably the same score that we just saw last week. 44-10. It's just not a good mix. Something is wrong. Something is going on. I don't know what it is. The continuity is just off, and you have studs on that football team. Something they are literally their lineup, their talent is probably 2 or 3 times better than Eagles. Think about that. You have a running back that's back there that's 6'2", 250. He's the same size as me. And you can't get it done.
Yeah, they got to figure it out.
You have bona fide receivers, and you can't get it done. Defensively, you've been the toughest defensive team over the past 10 years, and you can't get it done. I've never seen anything like this because usually great defensive teams usually win Super Bowls, and they can't get it done. Something's wrong.
Something's wrong. Amaree, let's get a quick pick. Who you got on Sunday? Do you like the Ravens or you like the Rams?
I got the Rams.
Woo! Rams indeed. Let's pivot, Bryant, to a team that you're going to have to face in a few weeks, and that is the Detroit Lions. Woo! Dan Campbell, you talk about improvement. You talk about coming into a season with new coordinators, coming in with some new additions. Defensive coordinators gone, offensive coordinators gone. You replace those two, but they are right back where they belong, and that's at 4-1. This is the Detroit Lions team. We know 37-24 your final over the Cincinnati Bengals. Jared Goff, 19-23, 258 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. As I said before, the 1-2 punch in the NFL is rare. We got a 1-2 punch, a healthy 1-2 punch that we seen a few years ago in the running game with Jamar Gibbs and David Montgomery. Hands down, with Detroit's offensive line and those two guys healthy, they're a hard team to beat because they can get it done in the running game. They can get it done in the passing game with Amaree St. Brown. David Montgomery finished with 65-yard receiving and a touchdown. Jamar Gibbs was able to 12 carries, 54 yards rushing. Amaree St. Brown, my fantasy football starting receiver. Shout out to my dog. Appreciate you. 8 receptions, 100 yards receiving. Sam Laporta, your favorite tight end, one of your favorite tight ends, behind Mark Andrews when Lamar's throwing the football. 5 receptions, 90 yards. He did get in the end zone for a touchdown. Jamar Gibbs also had a receiving touchdown as well. The Bengals, nothing impressive. They fall to 2-3, despite Jake Browning having 3 touchdowns throwing, 3 interceptions. They weren't effective on the run game. Jamar Chase had the best game so far without Joe Burrow, finishing with over 110 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. But Detroit improved to 4-1, Bryant. Pretty impressive, Amaree and Coach Will. Will, I know you're a Jets fan, but how dangerous right now is the Detroit Lions team? Because Dan Campbell and Jared Goff and this offense has been one of the hottest offenses in the league, top 5 offense in the NFL. What's your take on the Lions win over the Bengals 37-24 on Sunday?
Man, I watched that game. That was a good game. Can you guys hear me? Yep, I watched that game. That game was a really good game. I just felt like they were moving the ball really well. The defense was playing really well. That's why I'm switching sides. Exactly why I'm switching sides. It's just good football to watch. I feel like there's not too many people that are Lions fans, so it was just really good.
Shout out to my dog, Marissa. Marissa, she's a diehard Detroit fan from Detroit, born and raised. But Brian, let's talk about offensive coordinator John Morton, man. This guy's came in after tough shoes to fill with Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson had this Lion teams, the top 3 offense each year on their winning streak. We saw the damage that Detroit were able to do in the playoffs, definitely making a deep run in the postseason. But I want to give a shout out to offensive coordinator John Morton. He's coming there with Jared Goff. They've sat together in the offseason. They were able to come together to form a nucleus and pretty much redrawing up this offense, both from the running game and the passing game. And right now at 4-1, they look like they picked up right where they left off with Ben Johnson. I mean, when you got Gibbs and Montgomery the 1-2 punch, and you got Sam Laporta playing, it's a hard team to beat. And we know what team they are at home, but they're winning on the road, 2-1 on the road. They continue to improve. They're a true contender in the NFC. Any team in the NFC, I feel like, to go through Detroit. Washington was able to do that last year, going there and get a win during the playoffs. But hats off to John Morton and Dan Campbell and this Detroit Lion team at 4-1, 37-24. They're rolling. Jared Goff's playing some really good football, and they're a dangerous team in the NFC. So we'll see what happens moving forward. Washington Commanders and the Los Angeles Chargers. Damn it, I picked the Chargers to bounce back at home. They didn't. They lost 27-10. Welcome back, Jayden Daniels. God damn it, good to see you after Marcus Mariota starting the last 2 weeks for the Commanders. 27-10, Bryant, pretty self-explanatory. Commanders were pissed off to come out to start this game. Good to see Jayden Daniels and his offense be back in sync, I should say, in rhythm. Jim Harbaugh, the better brother of the Harbaughs, let's call it for what it is. I'm depressed, Brian, because I had the Chargers to win at home after losing Sunday previously to the Giants. I still couldn't wrap my head around that, but it is what it is. What's your takeaway from the Commanders win, cruising past the Chargers 27-10?
Daniels. That's just Daniels. There's nothing else to say but Daniels. And I sat him on my fantasy that week because I didn't trust the knee. But yet I waited, and I wound up winning both games in my fantasy league without him. So I was impressed by that. But however, I just need to see if he was 100%, and he is 100%. So he's ready to go. I see, Washington is going to be a contender, in my opinion, on the NFC side. And, that league there is tough. It's a tough league, that NFC. And with the Cowboys and the Giants, and it's turning the corner, man. So it's coming back to the way it used to be, and that's something to be excited about.
Yeah, I'm depressed right now just watching the film of this game. I mean, the Chargers were scoreless in 3 quarters, second, third, and fourth. That's not Jim Harbaugh team. That's not a Jim Harbaugh identity type of team. Justin Herbert's been having some really bad weeks these last few weeks. I mean, he only finished with 166 passing yards. I mean, Washington doesn't have a great defense for crying out loud, especially the passing defense. But losing Amaree and Hampton for me was the biggest takeaway from this game, because Amaree Hampton has been the glue for this running game after losing Najee Harris earlier in the year. And Amaree Hampton stepped up. He's rushed for over 100 yards each game, but losing him, he's going to be out for a while. I mean, where do the Chargers go? I mean, these are 2-star running backs that they've lost now, and we know Jim Harbaugh loves a running back. He's a running back type of guy. I don't know where the Chargers bounce back from a running game perspective, but offensively, Justin Herbert's got to play better. I mean, you can't be at home and only put up 10 points. I mean, Keenan Allen only had 58-yard receiving. You had Quentin Johnson only having 40-yard receiving. This is not the Chargers that we've seen earlier in the first 3 games, because they started off 3-0, Brian. They were hot. Now they fall down to 3-2. So we'll see what Jim Harbaugh does. Amaree, do you have any takeaway from the Chargers from what we've seen the first few games? Or are you confident that Jim Harbaugh and this Chargers team can turn things around with Justin Herbert? Amaree, don't be scared. You can talk. There it is.
Oh, no, my mic was tripping. But, yeah, I think that they have a really good offense, and I think Justin Herbert is going to, at the end of the day, get it done. I think he's a really good young quarterback, and I just can't wait to see what happens with this team. I think they're a really good team.
Can we get a quick pick for everybody, because the Chargers have the Dolphins this Sunday. Dolphins are 1-4. Will, I know you got to play the Dolphins as a Jets fan, but can we get a quick pick, because man, I'm taking the Chargers to bounce back. They can't go into Miami and lose. They just can't. Brian, who you got Sunday? Chargers or Dolphins?
Well, I got the Chargers. Dolphins stink. That whole organization stinks. They should have never fired my man Fortenary. I forgot how you say his last name. Yeah, they should have never fired him. Ever since they fired him, it's been going in the toilet bowl. Now they got a bunch of injuries. My man that's one of tearing his ACL, MCL, the whole. Tyreek Hill. That's a nasty break. But now they're going through a revamp phase, and he wasn't happy there anyway. He tore his ACL, MCL, and the whole 9, and he's smiling. So that tells you a lot about that organization, how that's going. So, it's just what it is.
Amaree, who you like? You like Dolphins or you like the Chargers on Sunday?
I got to go with the Chargers, of course.
Will? Good. You like the Chargers. Although your mic's off, I understand the word of lip. We got the Chargers on Sunday. We all like the Chargers. We're looking for a clean sweep. Justin Herbert, Jim Harbaugh, let's get it done. Fast forward to the game of the week for me, and I was talking to Bryant while traveling through the lovely airports I was in, and that's Monday night game between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, boy, do I tell you. Woo! Give me a minute, Brian. I need to take my break on this one because 31-28 was your final. Jacksonville 4-1. I never thought I'd say today to see today Jacksonville be 4-1 to start the year. Kansas City Chiefs fall to 2-3. But let's give credit where credit is due, and that's a damn good game we saw from Trevor Lawrence, who got the key game-winning touchdown, 18-25, 221 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, was sacked 3 times. He did rush for 54 yards also on the ground, 2 rushing touchdowns. That just goes to show he can do it with his arm and his legs. Bryant Thomas Jr., 4 receptions, 80 yards receiving. Travis Hunter, 3 receptions, 64 yards. Brian, didn't I tell you that boy can play on both sides of football? Didn't I tell you that? Let's look at
we saw that.
Yeah, we saw that. Patrick Mahomes, 29-41, 318 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He did also run for 60 yards, rushing for a touchdown. Kareem Hunt, I haven't seen him in a while. 2 touchdowns on Monday night. Tyreek Thornton, 3 receptions, 90 yards. Travis Kelce, 7 receptions, 61 yards. 31-20. Let's get into it, Bryant. Let's get to the root cause of this Monday night game. And, man, where do we even start? Because Trevor Lawrence and this Jacksonville team, first off, credit to Travis Hunter and all the Travis Hunters, naysayers, and people that said he couldn't do both sides of football in the league. He's doing it on both sides of the football league. And he was damn sure pretty effective on the defensive side in the second half for the Jacksonville Jaguars defensively. But hats off to Trevor Lawrence, man. He was a game manager in this game. He was able to protect the football. He was able to be a little bit more aggressive with his legs and get in the end zone. 31-28, Bryant. Jacksonville holding Kansas City because we know offensively Kansas City has been in sync and got going these last few weeks. But I was surprised that Xavier Worthy not being more effective in the passing game for Kansas City and Hollywood Brown. I mean, Xavier Worthy is Patrick Mahomes' #1 go-to guy offensively. But I'm surprised by the Chiefs losing this because they shouldn't have lost this game. Let's just call for what it. They should have not lost this game on Monday night. But how impressed were you with Jacksonville coming up with the win and improving to 4-1?
I'm going to make this quick and easy and simple. One man for this team makes a difference, Travis Hunter. Without Travis Hunter, this team is like 1-4. With Travis Hunter, they're 4-1. The end. The kid is phenomenal. He's doing things that most people in this league can't do, and he's a rookie doing this. I mean, he's making defenses miss. They can't tackle him really. They really can't cover him. You can throw the ball. He's going to make this fantastic catch. He reminds me of myself. But faster. Don't give me that goddamn look. Don't give me that goddamn look. He reminds me of a.
First off, Brian, you're right. First off, Brian, Travis Hunter is half your size. He's more athletic than you. He's more faster than you. Where he's at right now versus where you're at. Where he's at right now versus where you were at in college or pros. He's by far a better athlete than you. So don't sit here and say he reminds me of you. You are a Sam Laporta, a Mark Andrews, a Travis Kelce. That's who they remind me of when I see them play. That's the comparison for you.
Look.
Travis
How would you know you was in somebody's nutsack at that time?
You can't play both sides of the football. Come on, man. You couldn't do that.
We had to. We had to play both sides of the ball. We played 3 sports. These pansy asses only play 1.
Well, Amaree plays multiple sports. She does wrestling. She does football. She does cheer for 10 years.
I got more respect for her than most of the guys.
I do too.
They play 101 sports. The rest of these pansies can't play half of one.
What'd you call them?
Pansies.
Oh shit! I give credit to Jacksonville Jaguars proving the 4-1. Let's get into the theme of tonight, and that's our Thursday night football picks and locks. Bryant and myself are both at 4-1. Shame on me. I want to give a public apology to the 49ers faithful. Bang bang Niner gang. I'm sorry. I picked the Rams. I'm so sorry. Shame on me. What was I thinking? You got guys like Eastside legend Dave McSwain telling me why the hell did I pick the Rams? You got 49er faithful like Tyreek. You got 49er faithfuls hit me up on Facebook in our sports group. clowning me. What was I thinking? You damn right. What was I thinking? I mean, I had all the right to pick the Rams at home. They didn't have no Brock Purdy. You know, Matthew Stafford's been playing pretty efficient this year. Him and Devontae Adams have been doing a damn thing. The running game's been okay. You got one of the best offensive play callers and Sean McVay. And then flip side, you got Kyle Shanahan. I mean, shit, you could put me in the Kyle Shanahan system, and I can go out there and produce the way Mac Jones. Let me tell you something. I've never seen Mac Jones throw for over 350 yards passing ever as a New England Patriot. This sumbitch goes to the 49ers. He's playing like he's a damn MVP. I don't understand, but I figured it out. It's Kyle Shanahan and that offensive system. And I give credit to Mac Jones. He played a damn good game. I mean, he was effective in the passing game, over 30 yards, over 30 passes completed through 40-something attempts. He was able to protect the football, no interceptions, had a great QBR. I mean, you couldn't ask anything more on Thursday from what you saw from Mac Jones. I mean, the guy was just perfect. I mean, everything that the Rams were able to do, Mac Jones had a counter to it. But shout out to the San Francisco 49ers. 49er faithful, bang, bang, Niner gang. I'm sorry. I won't make that mistake again. I would have been 5-0, but that's okay. I'm going to move to 5-1 this week. We got the Philadelphia Eagles. We got the New York Football Giants on Thursday night on Amazon Prime Video. Al Michaels, Kurt Kersey with the call. Taylor Rooks on the sideline duties. Philadelphia is coming into this game 4-1, losing this past Sunday to Denver, giving up 18 points in the fourth quarter. Giants losing on the road in New Orleans. I knew that was going to happen, going to 1-4. But this is going to be a good game right here. A division game and go either way. But I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles. I just think the Eagles, you give up 18 points in the fourth quarter and lose, that better piss you off. So I expect Philadelphia coming to this Thursday night's game against the Giants in New York and at MetLife Stadium. You know what? Check this out, Brian. We talk about MetLife Stadium. They have concerts there, whatever. Do you know that stadium was a 1.4 or so billion dollar project, and that's what that stadium looks like? I was having a conversation on Sunday. You know, we look at all the stadiums around the world in the NFL, billion-dollar projects and state-of-the-art places. I mean, 1.2 billion and the MetLife looks like that? I mean, from a fan perspective, that's a shitty stadium. I'm just gonna call it how I see it. I mean, Citi Field's a better stadium. That's $1 billion. That's $1 billion stadium. You know, Jerry's World, that's $1 billion stadium. Look, I mean, they've spent more money building American Dream, and that looks more better than MetLife. I mean, shit, I couldn't. The architecture on MetLife Stadium, that's a basic stadium. I couldn't believe it. And I know Giant fans are probably going to kill me for this, but who gives a shit? They were so busy worried about putting Jimmy Hoffa under the damn stadium that they forgot to build an actual true NFL stadium. Who you got Thursday night? I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles on the road against the Giants. Who you got?
Well, I said it earlier. I hate the Giants. I absolutely hate the Giants. I can't stand them. I can't stand them. The Eagles, I somewhat like the Eagles, way better than Giants, but I'm going to pick the Giants to beat them by 1. I really am.
By 1?
By 1. I really am. Just to go against the grain and the narrative.
Hey, sorry now.
Yeah, just to go against the grain and the narrative, because everybody's going to pick the Eagles. But yeah, I'm going to pick the Giants to win by 1.
Say sorry now. Say sorry now, live on YouTube.
I'm not going to say sorry of nothing. So
Okay.
Because we will see. We will see. You know, the Giants are not going to lay down, and plus they are at home too. So it is what it is. I'm not a Giants fan. I'm going to say this again. I don't care if the Giants win a Super Bowl. I can't stand them. But I think they're going to win this game by 1.
Amaree, give me your quick pick. I know you don't like neither of these teams as a Dallas Cowboy fan, but who do you like to win tomorrow night?
I got Philly. You know, I can't go against Saquon. I can't go against Jalen Hurts. 2 incredible offensive players. So them together is just like the perfect duo.
Well, you guys know what time it is. Amaree, I don't know if you've been watching these last few weeks, but I've been pretty darn good with these locks for Thursday Night Football. And I intend to do the damn same thing I did last week, and that's what? Win. In the great words of Al Davis, just win, baby. We break down the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Football Giants. Philadelphia Eagles coming in, we know they lost this past Sunday to the Denver Broncos, giving up 18 points in the fourth quarter. Defensively, they just have to have a life of injection into this defense. But look, no disrespect to Jackson Dart. The quarterback can play. He should have started this year, in my opinion. They gave Russell Wilson too much of a rope to hang himself. This was a coaching sacrifice for Brian Dable because we know his job is pretty much over with at the end of the season, regardless of where the Giants finish at the end of the year. They're 1-4. At this point, play for a draft pick. No need to try and win games. Brian Dable's getting fired anyway. But my locks for this Thursday night's game between the Philadelphia Eagles and New York Football Giants, give me A.J. Brown over 50 yards receiving. Yes, we know what the dynamic has been between him and Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts and him have had a conversation privately this week. Give me him over 50-yard receiving. It's Saquon Barkley's homecoming again. We know last time he came into MetLife Stadium what he did to the Giants. I like him anytime touchdown scorer. It's personal as always to John Mara into the Giants. I like him anytime touchdown scorer. Give me Devontae Adams over 50-yard receiving. And better yet, give me Devontae Adams over 4 receptions. And my last one, but not least, give me Dallas Goedert, the tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles. Anytime touchdown scorer. And you know what? Since I'm being nice, take Philly with the spread alternated to 3. Those are Monty's locks for Thursday Night Football. That's the lucky 4, baby. The fantastic 4. If you want to get 5, you could be a little aggressive. Go for it, but that's what I like for Thursday Night Football. Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts to get it done. Saquon Barkley coming home against Brian Dable, New York Football Giants. Thank you very much. And remember, any bet you guys win on FanDuel, ESPN Bet, DraftKings, just make sure I get 10% because I'm giving you the locks for free. We're going to get these sponsorships soon, but those are Monty's locks for Thursday Night Football. We shall see. Fast forward, we're transitioning now. Transition to power of the what, Bryant? The what? Pivot. That's the WNBA Finals. Game 3 is happening right now as we speak. Las Vegas Aces are up 82-73, 4:25 left in the fourth quarter. Aces have a 2-0 lead. I picked the Aces to win the WNBA Finals. Bryant, that's what your pick as well. We talk about the Aces. We talk about how effective this team has been. But fast forward, I want to piggyback to Game 2, if you didn't know. In that third quarter alone, Jackie Young did finish over 32 points for the game. But she made WNBA history by scoring the most points in a quarter in a WNBA Finals game, and that was 21 points in that third quarter. They couldn't stop her. The guard play from Chelsea Young has been amazing. Asia Wilson doing what she has to do. But Mercury right now, they just don't have the horses to keep up with the Aces. They're just on a whole different level. Becky Hammond and them are looking at another WNBA Finals championship. But just some quick numbers for tonight. For the Aces game in Game 3, Asia Wilson, 32 points, 14 rebounds. She also has 3 blocks. Jackie Young, 17 points. She's been effective. She's been consistent. Besides Game 1, she's had 17. She's 6 of 15 from the field. Not too good from 3, finished at 1 and 6. We look at also for the Aces, Jewel Lloyd, who me and my brother Coach Hawk talked about, who has to step up in this series and be more effective. She has 16 points right now. 4 of 7 from 3. She's effective. 6 rebounds, 3 assists. And look, let's just call it for what it is. The Aces are just a better team. The Mercury just don't have enough firepower to compete with them. Outside of Satu Sabali having 24 points, Leah Thomas 14 points. She's just been in so many positions in her career to like you think like, man, this is her year to get a championship. This is her year to get over the hump. And the Aces, they've just been defensively just a juggernaut for them. They're up 10 right now with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. DeWanna Bonner has 20 points off the bench. I thought she should get more minutes and playing time. But Amaree, let me pivot to you because you like the WNBA. I love the WNBA. We got this series right here, Game 3 between the Aces and Mercury. I mean, we know that the Aces are going to be WNBA champions, all said and done. But when we talk about Asia Wilson, right now, who has her 4th MVP in her career, that's the most in the WNBA history. My opinion, I feel like we're looking at the greatest woman WNBA basketball player to work across God's green earth. And there's no disrespect to the greats, to the pioneers that paved the way for Asia. But what's your take right now on Asia Wilson? Is it safe to say that Asia right now is by far the best player in WNBA history?
Absolutely. I think on defensively, offensively, she's like there's nothing. I wouldn't say there's no flaw about her game. I think she plays at her own pace. She never gets too sped up. And she's just a dog through and through. Yeah, and she has great teammates around her. Juloid is a great addition to that team. Just has to step up in the series for them to pull through and get this championship.
Yeah, Bryant, we I think that Jackie Young right now is creating her own resume in year 7. But what she's been able to do this year alone, predominantly during that second half stretch, during that 14-game win streak, and in the WNBA playoffs, she stepped up on both sides of the court. She does guard the best player on the opposing team. I give Jackie Young that credit. But right now, Brian, it's safe to say, I say personally that when it comes down to the MVP of this series, it's got to be co-MVPs. It's got to be Asia. It's got to be Jackie. Are we on the same page on that?
Yeah, I mean, somebody's got to get it. They're not going to do it.
Co-MVP. Come on now.
They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it because
you can't do it. You can't do it.
You can do it, but they're not going to do it. It's just what it is. They're going to pick one unless they do some type of split deal. That's just how that is. It's politics, baby. You know what I mean? You gotta sell some T-shirts and you gotta sell some hats and some basketballs and some tickets. You can't have a co-thing. That co-thing is it's one winner. It's not two.
I mean, I'm cool with Asia winning. I'm also cool if Jackie wins. I just
Asia's going to win a thing, man. Just call it what it is.
I'm okay with that. Look, at the end of the day, Jackie Young has been everything and then some for this Aces team. We do know them trading Kelsey Plum. It did hurt them in the first half of the season. We saw that with their record, finishing just one game above 500. But the second half of the year, Becky Hammond just got a new injection into this team. Jewel Lloyd stepping up. I mean, it's been a collective. But from what Jackie Young's been able to do from the guard perspective, from the guard standpoint, the way she plays, I mean, she can handle the ball. She can defend. She can finish at the basket. She can get downhill, 94-feet defender. I mean, she has just been everything you would want in a player for this Aces team, because a lot of people didn't have the Aces to get back to the finals. I know I did when we had Tamika Dixon on, former WNBA champion. I said Aces going to get there because ain't nobody can stop Asia Wilson. I mean, Asia Wilson right now, you, Amaree, and Will, we couldn't stop Asia. I mean, I
don't know about all that now.
That's how good she is.
I don't know about that.
One of the things I will say is let's appreciate Asia's greatness while she's here. I think a lot of times we take the game for granted, and right now Asia is making a resume to be the best. She is the best right now and will be when it's all said and done. I mean, 4-time WNBA MVP. She's getting ready to add another WNBA champion to her resume. We do know that the Aces, this is their 4th time in the finals in 5 years. Just think about that alone. Those are all impressive numbers in itself, from what this organization's startup is, being in Vegas, having Tom Brady as another minority owner, having Mark Davis another minority owner. When you inject winning and you inject winning DNA into an organization, good things will follow. And look, the Aces, they're young. They're not going anywhere. I just feel like if they can just add maybe a few more pieces to the bench, Aces, man, they got a shot to win a few more before it's all said and done. So right now the Aces are winning. They look like they're getting ready to go up 3-0. They are currently 84-83, 251 in the fourth quarter. Aces only having 8 points in the fourth quarter. Phoenix Mercury just went on a run. Amaree, you love Paige Bueckers. Bryant loves Paige Bueckers. You are a Dallas Wing fan. I'm just going to give you my opinion on the Dallas Wing. You tell me if I'm correct or not. I didn't agree with having the head coach you guys did have. You guys just fired in the offseason. I thought that, having the nucleus of Paige Bueckers, she handled her rookie campaign as a professional. She was able to win Rookie of the Year. That's pretty impressive. That was my Rookie of the Year pick to begin with, Bryant's as well. But we look at Paige Bueckers, we look at the Dallas Wings. They didn't have the year that, everyone thought that they would have, and that's being a 500 team as well as, possibly being in the WNBA playoffs. But how, as a fan of Paige Bueckers, how proud of you of her rookie campaign, and what are some of the things you look forward to seeing from her in year 2 with the Wings?
Yeah, hopefully they get a better coach. I think offensively she kind of took that team and made it something, at least the people that can watch. I feel like if Paige wasn't on the floor, it looked like it looked like something, but her on the floor, she's a floor general. She never gets sped up. She's so calm, and she under pressure. I think she plays well under pressure, and in moments where the stakes are stacked against her. And you can even tell from her days at UConn with all her injuries. I mean, she's just an incredible player. She plays with so much passion, and I think that's really what really connects me to her, because I feel like we're kind of like the same person athlete wise.
Putting Amaree Walker and Paige Bueckers in the same sentence. I like that. I like that comparison. That's confidence, baby. You can't teach that. Bryant, you love Paige Bueckers. Of course, we know the Dallas Wings need to make some moves in the offseason to improve this team. Only finished with 7 wins in the regular season, but you got to be happy with what you see from Paige Bueckers. What's some things you look forward to see from Paige Buckets in year 2?
Get some pieces around her. They need a better team. They need a better coach. They got some work to do in the offseason. I've always been a Paige Bueckers fan. I thought that her all around game is just, I always had a rule in basketball coaching is to basically stay the same, and pick up your intensity as the game gets closer. But she was consistent all throughout the whole entire year. And I think she's going to be even better next year. It's especially when Caitlin Clark comes back. And I know Caitlin needs to work on some of her games as well in the offseason. And it's going to make it more challenging. I look forward to next year, and I can watch it a little bit more because my schedule is opening up a little bit. I can pay more attention to the WNBA. I watched it some, but not a whole lot this year. But it's you understand that there's so much sports going on right now that it's insanity. So I'm excited about it. I see my schedule is just like it's cleaning up the slate. Finally can do this damn closing tomorrow, and I'm excited about that. But at the end of the day, I think that she's going to have a better year, definitely, than she had this year.
The Wings need a head coach, right?
Yeah, they need to call me. If they call me for an interview, I damn sure will go.
Dallas 10-34, dead last, tied last with the Chicago Sky in the WNBA. Will, I know you having some visual issues. Can you hear us via audio? Can you tap in via audio?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good. We got you. Look, we're coming to you next because we've had Coach Lowry. We had the pleasure and the blessing of having Coach Lowry on episodes ago, a few months back. During the summertime, during Seton Hall's important recruiting time. He's also currently the assistant coach at Seton Hall University. Brian and myself were able to secure some tickets for Villanova Seton Hall. But you have a personal relationship with Coach Lowry. You were able to work with him while he was the head coach at Lincoln University. But before we get to Coach Lowry, let's talk about your kiddos' training experience. And can you give us a little bit more background of that and talk to us what your experience has been like with Coach Lowry when you were there at Lincoln University as his assistant?
Sir, pretty much, man. My experience with Coach Lowry, first off, great dude, man. He's, to be honest, a great mentor for me. I talk to him on a day-to-day basis. Still help out behind us with things that no one really knows about. As far as recruiting goes, send them players every year just to say, hey, look, what's your thoughts? And I had them on phones with players a couple of times already at Seton Hall. So a lot of behind the scenes stuff. But just the way his system at Lincoln University, we were scheduled. Sadly, it was during the COVID year, but we were scheduled to put up the most points in Division I and Division II. And that's not really known, especially at an HBCU school at Lincoln University in PA. We played against Division one schools at Lincoln, and I had the pleasure to set those games up. And just, it was just a fun experience, man. It kind of makes me want to, I kind of regret sometimes, not going to Essex County playing for him, just because he was the head coach, and I just know that, how great and organized he was. And, if I did go play for him, I probably would have won the national championship. Just being underneath the system. And then as far as the coaching goes, man, the training goes, my kid is in the gym every day. He's actually in my classroom. I had to take a step out because of technical difficulties. But it's great, man. He actually just came from practice. He wakes up in the morning with me at 5:30 just to go get shots up when I go play. It's just a fun experience, man. He's on the jump rope. I remember I couldn't jump rope. Coach Gar had me on the jump rope, just going up and down. And I was so uncoordinated, man. But just teaching him at a young age the things and the lessons I learned from great mentors like Coach Gar, Coach Lowry. The list goes on. Coach Hawk, you brought up Hawk. I talk to Hawk to this day. I don't even have Hawk number saved, and I remember that guy's phone number like it was yesterday, man. him in that little red Honda picking us up every single day,
Mm-hmm.
taking us to school, taking us home, in the gym, outside at Independence Park, wherever. So, like, there's a lot of guys that, I could go ahead and mention. And sadly, Coach Gar, you'll love this one. Aaron Bodie was just out here with me. So
Is
just
that
the
right? Okay.
relationships, man. The relationships mean more than the world to me. And it's just a fun experience. The basketball kept me connected with a lot of people that I wanted to be connected with.
That's cool. That's what's up.
We love that, Will. You also had the opportunity and privilege to be with Mark Madsen, former Los Angeles Lakers NBA champion, a.k.a. Mad Dog at Utah Valley. Give us a little bit of perspective what it's like to learn and be a mentee to an NBA great like Mark Madsen and being at Utah Valley with him.
That part one more time.
Mark Madsen, Utah Valley, NBA champion, Los Angeles Lakers. You were able to be on his staff as well. What was it like being a mentee, being under his wing and learning from a true NBA champion like Mark? Power of the pivot. As Will has continued audio and visual issues, we will fast forward to college football. Week 6, Week 7, Bryant, Michigan 24-10 over Wisconsin. Coming from our bye week, Justice Hayes. The guy can play, Bryant. Another game where he's over 100 yards rushing. Another game where he's getting in the end zone. Impressive. Michigan had over 445 yards total team offense, 270 in the passing game, 175 yards on the ground, 5 yards of carry. I mean, look, listen. Anytime you have a running back like Justice Hayes and an offensive line that's up and coming, you see the offensive line improvement, Brian, week in and week out. 24-10 was a victory. Your takeaway from Michigan's win at home this past Saturday against Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is not the old Wisconsin of the Ron Dane years. They usually carry some big offensive linemen as well. Big Ten is kind of down this year, kind of. You got like 100 damn teams in there now. It's not the old Big Ten of, we actually had 10 teams. Now you got like 30. So, it's something that I kind of get confused with saying that Oregon is in there and UCLA is in there and USC, I think, maybe. The hell if I know. But, Penn State is in there and, talking about they in the doghouse. Wisconsin is really not getting the players they used to get. So Michigan is supposed to win that game without any question. The biggest game that they have coming up now is against Ohio State. So they should win on out all the rest of the way through and face Ohio State and possibly have the biggest upset of this whole entire college year.
Chris said earlier that Michigan's not going to make the college football playoff, and we're a bowl team this year, and just one of the things I will say, and I've had this conversation with this past weekend. We look at the Big Ten. I'm going to say it publicly. Big Ten right now is the best conference in college football. SEC's number 2. I thought I'd never say that. In recent years, SEC's always been the best conference. Bryant saw that. We got the opportunity to see that with Michigan and Georgia when we played in the college football playoff. But right now, the Big Ten has 6 quarterbacks from Ohio State's quarterbacks and sophomore. You got Bryce Underwood, Michigan, as a freshman. We look at the Big Ten; they're all young. Quarterbacks in the Big Ten are all young. I mean, and the upside for these guys is high. So I just want to give a special shout out to the quarterbacks in the Big Ten. Big Ten being the best conference in the league. But Brian, I think me and you need to. I think you need to give an apology to the Alabama Crimson Tide fans because you picked Vanderbilt to beat Alabama this past Saturday. Vanderbilt's coming to the game 5-0. But Alabama said, Bryant, we heard you, damn it. We heard you. And they went on and got the win and snapped Vanderbilt's undefeated streak, man. What's your takeaway?
They heard me for a half because at the halftime, it was 14-14. So, it's nothing like a good old halftime speech to where Alabama sit there and said, we only lost to them maybe once or twice throughout the eternity. So, but Vanderbilt came ready to freaking play. They came ready to play. In the first half. They just ran out of gas the second half.
Third quarter,
look, when have you ever heard of Vanderbilt being in the game at halftime?
First off, I don't know when I've heard Vanderbilt being ranked top 25.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, you talking about Vanderbilt, you talking about the smartest of the smartest kids like Duke and Vanderbilt and all those others. This team was neck and neck with Alabama.
Wait,
that says a lot.
First half.
That's the first half.
30
They
to
took
40.
over the game.
30 to
This
40.
score is usually 56-7.
Hey, what'd you do last week? What'd you do last week about this game? What'd you say?
I said that you know the envelopes are in the locker rooms.
No. We're gonna get the envelope.
Look. But it's all right. No, they're getting private checks now. They're getting a little extra on the side. Check this out. Check this out. It's gonna be even more next year.
Listen to this because matter of fact, I need you to apologize to me right now because I was on here a few weeks ago saying that James Franklin and Penn State something's wrong. I said James Franklin is not the guy for this Penn State team. He's not the guy that's going to give him over the hump. He's not the guy that's going to get him to a national championship. Everybody in college football, all Penn State fans, they want to see at the table so bad in the college football game. They want to be a Power 5 school. They want to be there with the Georgias. They want to be there with the Ohio States, the Michigans. They want to be there with the top dogs, the big dogs. But you go into UCLA, a team that was 0-4. You just lost Saturday night to Oregon in double overtime, and you go into UCLA and lose the damn game 42-37, and you let UCLA get their first win of the season. Bryant, apologize to me. I want an apology.
I'm not going.
Apologize to me.
I'm not going to apologize. And this is why.
Accountability.
This is why he can't. The play calling in that game was just, oh my God. How can you run that play going east-west when you need to go downhill? Like you do. It's like it's the dumbest thing that they can ever do. Penn State is usually not like that. Joe Paterno is usually on point. May he rest in peace. But I gave Franklin the benefit of the doubt.
Too much credit.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt. That was a bad freaking loss. I've always said that they will have a tough time competing in the Big Ten. I've said it since 1992. I will repeat it again. They will never win a national title. I've always said that playing in the Big Ten, they will never win another national title ever. They haven't won one since 1986. I've said that, and I say it over and over again. But I've always said the reason why they shouldn't fire Franklin because that program was dead since Jerry Sandusky. It was completely dead.
Okay. He was able to resurrect.
He resurrected
and make it relevant.
Right. So now
they don't get a seat at the table. They don't
hold on.
Get a seat at the table.
Now you playing Russian roulette of trying to find another coach because you got to understand something. Franklin was there before NILs. He was there,
and they didn't win then.
He was, he did, but he didn't win it. He's not going to win a national championship. I said that.
He ain't win Big Ten either.
He's not. He's not going to do it. I've said that. Their ceiling is just right there, and that's the way it's going to be. And I've said it since 1992. I'm not saying they're going to win a Big Ten. They're not going to do it. They're never going to do it. Period. They didn't win it when they had the best team. They couldn't do it. So their ceiling is only going to go so far. It's just what it is.
He's mediocre. He's got to go.
It's just so you want to get someone else in there to do the same thing? It's not going to happen.
Look, Bryant, we've seen programs, right? You get to a certain point, you get the next hire, that elevates them, right? I give a perfect example. We look at Georgia. Georgia was mediocre in the SEC. Mediocre. They bring in Kirby Smart. What did Kirby Smart do? Elevate them.
No.
Why?
Why?
Kirby Smart was winning before NIL.
No. Oh, yeah. Why? Come on, it ain't no big damn secret.
We look at Alabama. You look at Alabama.
Why?
They were nothing.
They're
Nothing.
not doing that. They're not doing that at freaking Penn State. They're not paying nobody over there.
Penn State wants a seat at the table, but they haven't earned the right to be at the table. I just want you to apologize to me because you publicly back in James Franklin that he's the guy. This is the right hire. You can't fire him. He's done this.
I didn't say none of that.
Oh,
I didn't say none of that. I said that they can't do it because they don't have the freaking money. They're not paying nobody over there. So they're only going to go so far. I said it last week.
No problem.
So now,
let's piggyback.
What are you going to do? What are you going to hire your boy at North Carolina so he can ask to be fucking 0-10?
I'm a hire.
He got fucking girlfriend problems.
Hey, look, I'm going to hire Brian Garvin. Where we going? I hired Brian Garvin. They're coaching Penn State. Where we going?
The same fucking level because I ain't going to give you no goddamn money.
Let's fast forward. I need a solo shot, Chris, because I don't have much time and I need to get out of here. Florida and Texas this past Saturday. Texas coming in 3-1, ranked number 9 in the country. Florida Gators 1-3. Billy Napier's, he's getting fired. Let's just call it for what it is. And I'm sitting there to myself and I'm saying, Texas, this is a good SEC test for them, a good matchup going into the swamp. I mean, we know the swamp is not what it used to be, but then and I'm just saying to myself, man, this is a good test for Archie Manning. And Florida defensively just been terrible. Offensively, DJ Lagway just couldn't take care of the football, throwing interceptions. And Jaden Ball has been and then you have Duke Clark who's been and then it's like, man, this is a game Texas they're gonna take care of business. Let me tell you something. I took Texas to win this game. Steve Sarkisian, something's not brewing right in Texas. I mean, you got all the horses, you got all the donors, you got the state-of-the-art facilities, you got the state-of-the-art stadium, and you come into Florida. I mean, there's no way you lose to Florida. They're 1-3. Archie Manning, what was I thinking putting my money on a damn Manning? I'm a Patriot fan. The Mannings, all they do is give us is fucking headaches. Eli's done it in the Super Bowl. Peyton's done it in the 2006 AFC Championship game. And I say, I'm taking Archie Manning on the road. I'm confident he's going to go in there and get it done. The some bitch threw 2 interceptions in the second half, played like dog shit. First half was okay. And in the second half, they just allowed Florida to do whatever the hell they want to do. 10 points scored in the third quarter, 0 points scored in the fourth quarter. I mean, they just let Dallas Wolf do whatever the hell they wanted to do, over 111 yards receiving. Running game, Jordan Bob had over 107 yards rushing on the game, scored a touchdown. Steve Sarkisian, I'm not sure if it's you. I'm not sure if it's Archie Manning. I'm not sure if it's a combination of both. But damn it, if you want to see that at the college football table, you need to go in there and beat Florida. There is no way in God's green earth you lose to a 1-3 Florida team who has been horrible offensively, has been dysfunctional on defense end, and yet you allowed them to score 29 points on you guys? 29 points? Florida Gators? Are you serious? Steve Sarkisian, that window for the college football playoff, I know it's 12 teams. You probably can have 3-4 losses and still get in. I still don't believe there's 12 good teams in college football right now. But you got a matchup against Oklahoma this Saturday. That rivalry right there, Boomer Sooner, is no joke. Bryant knows a thing or two about playing in that all-state red rivalry. That red rivalry runs deep. That's oil money right there. I mean, look, Oklahoma's 5-0. Oklahoma's 5-0, and Texas is home. I don't know what. You know what? I don't want to make this pick out of anger because it can go either way. Another SEC matchup. But, Bryant, who do you like on Saturday between Oklahoma and Texas? You know this rivalry very well.
Man, Oklahoma is going to destroy it. It's let's talk about another game because that's not going to be a game after the first quarter. I think they're going to knock Manning out of the game. Let me tell you, he stinks. I'm just going to say flat out. The kid played 1A football, and it was borderline flag. It was bad. I watched him. I went down, watched a little bit of tape of him, and I said, I don't even know why they just recruited a generational recruit because they thought that he was going to be this and that. And I believed in the hype. I said they said he was one of the better Mannings. So I sat there and watched it, and I watched him when he got in the game, one of these games when he was a freshman or sophomore, and I thought he had duck feet at that time. Now he's starting, and I just don't think he's talented enough to be able to do certain things that he should be able to do at this level. I think he can be maybe a lower tier Division 1, maybe a Division 2 level type quarterback. I don't think he's that great. He may be later down the line, but right now he stinks. That's it. I just only can go by what he's giving me. That's it. And right now even Peyton is like, the young man look like he's adopted. I believe it. I believe it.
Might be. Games to look out for this Saturday. We got Rutgers and Washington. Give me Washington at home over Rutgers. We got number 1 Ohio State versus number 17 Illinois. Bryant, Illinois is they've been hot in the Big Ten. They surprised a lot of people. Ohio State being undefeated, of course, being number 1 in the country. You got that game to look out for Saturday. Number 7 Indiana versus number 3 Oregon. I like Oregon to win. Then we got Oklahoma and Texas red rivalry. I'm taking Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner, baby. Jim Ross, a great Oklahoma alum. Then we got Michigan versus USC. Michigan in LA. They will be practicing at the Chargers facility. We're going to call that Michigan West over there in the West Coast. Give me Michigan 7:30 on NBC. And fast forward, it is time for Coach Gar's hot take because Bryant hasn't been giving hot takes the last 2 weeks due to schedule constraints. But he's back in the hot seat, and it's time for Coach Gar's hot take. Welcome back, brother. Let's go.
All right, so the big topic was Kyren Lacy going on with him with an accident. He wound up killing himself. Everybody knows the whole particular story, and I don't need to go over it. I just want to talk about the accident in particular. Okay, was Kyren Lacy wrong? Yes, he was wrong for going on the wrong side of the highway. It's a single lane highway going each way, no question. There's a truck at the end that saw him and he stopped. Kyren Lacy was 72 yards away and he got back over into his lane as that truck stopped coming towards him. He stopped. There's a white car behind him. The white car stopped, swerved into the opposite lane. There's no way that she could see past the truck to see Kyren on the other side. I personally believe that she was on her freaking cell phone, which Monty, my daughter, always screaming to me about me staying off my cell phone. See, without any doubt, without any question in my mind, I'm willing to bet my house, my cars, my bank accounts, everything that she was on that goddamn cell phone. She saw the truck in front of her, and she panicked, and she swerved and went over to the left side and hit that young man and killed him. Period. Now, indirectly, is he responsible for that particular accident? No. Can you get him for reckless driving? Absolutely. Give him a ticket, suspend his license, whatever it may be. Yes, because he caused the truck to stop. However, anybody else behind the truck, they got to be on the defense. And she wasn't. She was distracted, and she turned to the opposite lane. You got to pay attention while you're driving. There's no way in the world that I'm going to either be tailgating, driving that close, swerve them to avoid the truck in front of me, and cause something else. The young lady caused that accident. I don't care what anybody else says. That's just how it is. That's how it is on the highway. I drive one highways. I drive all day, and I see this type of nonsense all the time. And I saw it with myself, and I stopped because it's a dangerous situation. So if you can't see it that way, then you have a right to your own opinion. But it is what it is. The young man killed himself because he thought he was going to jail. He freaked out. He panicked. And may he rest in peace, but it's a sad day because we wanted to see this young man perform in the NFL. And that's my hot take for today.
No doubt about it, Bryant. Kyren Lacy by far would have been on the football field this season. And just a terrible loss for not also his family and for LSU football, but just for the people out there that were really just saying that he was guilty in the comments on social media and bashing him and bashing his family. To see his mom come out, obviously, a few months later after his death to pretty much be very humble in a sense in terms of her reaction, because all this new evidence is unfolding. We got video footage from officers. We got false statements. We got a woman who was a woman that put this young man's life in danger, which caused him to commit suicide by saying he was guilty at the time, saying all these things at the car accident. And for the video footage to come out and him be 72 yards away, and he had no shot of not even near this accident, I think it's atrocious to Lacy's family. I think a public apology should be made. I think they should prosecute and give this woman everything that the state of Louisiana has to give in terms of prosecution, because there's no way she should be let off the hook. There's no way that this should be allowed. This happens every day in everyday walk of life, but we have a young black star who was at the top of this game at LSU as a wide receiver to be put in a position where he committed suicide because this woman falsely said that this man was guilty. May God have mercy on her soul. And that's all I can say about that.
They trying to make it a chain reaction. It's impossible for a car to oversee a truck on a one-lane highway. It just can't do it. Awesome. I tried doing it today, and I was like, it's impossible. You know what I mean? So Kyren should have never passed illegally. He caused the truck to stop, but yet everything behind him, you got to make it, and you guys got to pay attention and be smart about why you're driving, and that's it.
Yep. Amaree, I got something for you before I go. I got 2 takes for you. I got this one coming up, and that's Rewind of the Week. You're going to like this because New England Patriots, baby. I got something for these guys, and I want you to comment after. I'm done. But it's time for this week's edition of Rewind of the Week. Let's fuck it. People, the grand jury, everyone's been out there saying New England's done. Everyone's saying that firing Gerard Mayo was the wrong thing to do. I agree. I don't like to see black head coaches get fired, especially after year one. I did like bringing in Mike Vrabel, bringing in that DNA. He has history coaching in the NFL. With the Tennessee Titans, he was able to bring Tennessee to the playoffs multiple times. He also is responsible for beating Tom Brady in his last game as a New England Patriot before he went to Tampa Bay. But damn, the New England Patriots are here, and we ain't going nowhere. I mean, we're ahead of the game. We're ahead of the schedule. I mean, I thought by next year maybe we'll slowly start to get things going. But this win this past Sunday against Buffalo, man, I am impressed. Drake May, the way Drake May played in the second half, the way he put the ball where only his receiver can get it, the few times him rolling to the right, that one throw on third down to Stephon Diggs. I mean, he put that thing way out of bounds where only Stephon can get it. That's just the work that Stephon and Drake put in the offseason. And I just love the leadership from what I saw from Stephon Diggs. This was personal for Stephon. Being in Buffalo multiple seasons, obviously not having the success that he wanted with Josh Allen. And then last year, Stephon Diggs gave him that look, that look. We know that look that you gave him. So this was circled on my calendar this year. And look, I'm happy the way Stephon Diggs played. He was a vocal point in the locker room. He was vocal on the sidelines throughout the game. That's true leadership. That's what the New England Patriots need in this locker room for this DNA team. We used to see Brady being that vocal guy on the sideline on the offense. We used to seeing Teddy Bruschi. We used to seeing Willie McGay. We used to seeing Ty Law. We used to see all these great vocal guys, Bill Belichick and others, on that sideline getting these guys going, the horses as I call them. But damn it, Stephon Diggs, 10 receptions, 146 yards receiving. That's right, back-to-back games with Stephon Diggs, over 100 yards receiving. I'll take it. Drake May did the damn thing, although he did not throw a touchdown. He did not throw an interception in this game. That's okay. We don't care about that. He was able to manage the game, protect the football, make plays where it mattered most, drive him down the field in the fourth quarter. Because, when the Patriots got the ball back, Bryant, I say, you know what, Drake May going to walk it down on him. I already knew because he was dissecting Buffalo's defense all night. Went down the field, walked it down on them, got the game-winning field goal, came out the 23-20 victory. We do got the New Orleans Saints this Sunday. That's a win in itself, so it looks like we'll be 4-2, making our way to the AFC East. I'm not saying we're going to win the division. I'm not going to come out and say that. But damn it, the wild card looks pretty good, and it's got the New England Patriots name on it. And Mike Vrabel and this team, we're clicking on all cylinders. Give me the New England Patriots this Sunday. Amaree, safe to say we good? New England's here and stay, right? We're good? We're good?
You're good.
Love that. Appreciate that. We're not going to worry about Bryant because all he's going to do is just bash me anyway. Let's get into it with Moss. Last segment of the night. Let's go. I want to be the first to congratulate Chris and his Toronto Blue Jays for taking care of business and beating the New York Yankees and sending them sorry-ass Yankees home. The Yankees had their World Series playoff win against the Boston Red Sox, the first time since 2003. Love that. Love that for them. I know my Mets stink. We didn't make the playoffs, spending $1 billion in the offseason, not making the playoffs with Juan Soto and others. I'm okay with that. Bash me now. But the Yankees coming into this series, they just had nothing on Toronto. Toronto right now is one of the hottest offensive hitting teams in baseball. I mean, they were able to take care of business tonight 5-2, and they're sending them sorry-ass Yankees home crying in disbelief. Another year where Aaron Boone, the Yankees, don't get it done. I expect Aaron Boone to be fired this year because they gave that guy 99 lives and then some. I mean, that guy's got more lives than I have, and I ain't even make it yet in the business. I mean, look. Shout out to the Toronto Blue Jays. I know Chris is a diehard Toronto faithful, but he's also been able to be happy for his team. I'm happy to see him back. Dodgers are currently losing 3-1 to the Philadelphia Phillies, who I can't stand. But we got the NHL hockey returning. My Chicago Blackhawks kicked off yesterday against the Stanley Cup guys who was there last year, and that's the Florida Panthers, losing 3-2 on the road. God damn it, Chicago. I'm not sure what's the ceiling for us this year, but I know damn thing. I'm happy hockey's back. And I'm happy. I might just go to Chicago Blackhawks game Saturday since I'll be in Chicago where Bryant's from, the Windy City. But I'm not sure yet. We shall see. But just want to give a special shout out. MLB playoffs are here. Enjoy them. NHL is back. Let's go. And, let's sign this thing off before we go home because we got to go. People got to go. Amaree, for the people out there watching, where can people come follow you, support you as a rising junior? And also we got one more year of high school before you make your college decision. So where can the people come find you?
I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. That's really it. It's on tx.mar. And on both. It's the same thing. So go follow me.
Any last words you want to say before we sign off episode 35 of the Rewind?
Thank you for having me on this podcast. This is a really interesting experience. It's my first time doing this. A little nervous, but it's a good experience.
Don't be. You know why? You know why you don't be nervous? Just like anything, any sport, right? You're a woman. Do you know the percentage of women playing varsity football right now in America, predominantly in New Jersey? That's probably, what's that, Bryant? Probably less than 2% women playing varsity football in New Jersey.
About that.
You are doing something extraordinarily special. You're doing something that most women aren't capable of doing. And don't be afraid. Don't live in fear. I mean, look at me, for example. I'm doing something that's new. But yeah, I'm not new to it, but it's a risk, right? You don't know what's on the other side. But don't be afraid don't be afraid to do something that you want to do. You are more than welcome to come back on the Rewind anytime. I might just make you guest co-host one week while Brian's away on vacation. We got options, baby. We love options, but you did a damn good job. I'm proud of you. I love you.
Thank you.
Your mom and father are great to me. They take care of me in time of need. And I appreciate my high-end family. But you did a damn thing. I'm proud of you. We look forward to seeing you down the road. Brian, any last words before we sign off? Episode 35 of the Rewind, brother.
It was great being here again. Looking forward to episode 36. And let's go Bears for this weekend. We had last week off. Couldn't talk about it this weekend, but we got to do what we got to do. Handle that.
Bears were on a bye this past Sunday. They are back in action this Sunday as they take on the Washington Commanders in Washington. That's going to be actually Monday night game. I'm sorry, Washington Commanders Monday night. ESPN, Joe Buck, Troy Aikman will have the call. But for everybody out there watching, please, episode 35 of the books, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at @3-1_GSC3, as well as follow us on all of our social media platforms at @3-1_GSC3. Our first episode on YouTube Live. We'll be back next week, episode 36 on YouTube Live. We appreciate the love and support. Can't do it without you. To my dog, Chris, 1990 Studios, thank you for this moment, this pivotal moment in our Rewind journey as we debuted our first episode on YouTube Live. You guys will be able to catch this tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Shout out to Damaris. Love her. My New York girl. CQ in the house. What up, Damaris? Want to give a special shout out to everybody that came through tonight. My fellow Patriot, Loretta. I love you, baby. Appreciate you. I love you. And it's been great. We got Angel, who is Amaree's mom in the house. Shout out to Angel. I love you, big sis. That's my enforcer. Shout out to her. We've had, I believe we had a Victoria come through, who's a diehard Alabama Crimson Tide. Look at Victoria. Don't she look good? Don't she look beautiful? What up, Victoria? Appreciate you. Go Bama. I mean, love her. But we appreciate all love and support. You guys will be able to catch this tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern Time. To my guest, Amaree Walker. To my big bro, Eastside High School alum, state champion, Will Joyce, current doing a damn thing in all the walks of life. Now teaching now. Thank God he's not at Eastside. We ain't going to talk about that right now. To my co-host, BG Brian Garvin. I love you, brother. See you next week after the episode. To Chris 99 Studios, I'm Monty Moss signing off. The Aces did win 90-88. Asia Wilson, game-winning basket. Aces up 3-0. Go Aces, baby. See you guys next week. Rewind. Let's go.
Let's go!
I was checking out the scouting report, and I don't see nothing but bums. You and your whole entire world know that I am the one. You and your squad ain't got nothing for me. Your organization is looking stressed, and now that you haters is running from me, I know that you see that I'm highly blessed.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, we live with your boy Coach G. Yeah, we live with your boy Monty.
You and your squad ain't got nothing for me. Your organization is looking stressed, and now that you haters is running from me, I know that you see that I'm